Shalom. Shalom. Peace, blessings, love, and safety to the 12 tribes of Israel who have been scattered into all nations for the disobedience of our ancestors. How y'all doing out there? Excuse the glare, you guys. In a little different position right now. I don't know if I can get that glare off of there. Sorry about that. You guys gonna have to bear with me this morning with that little glare we got up there, okay? Bear with me. But anyway, good rising, family. Hope everybody's doing wonderful. Give it a few minutes before I get started. Not going to keep you guys too long. Just doing a little morning check-in. Just got off of work from my overnight captivity, also known as bondage. Yeah. We'll give it a few minutes to see if anybody pop up. If not, you can always go back and watch this on the replay. As I said, forgive me for the glare, family. Forgive me for the glare. Hope everybody's doing well. You see the title of this one, Message to My Sisters, who are Hebrew Israelites, even though many of our sisters and brothers don't know that they're Hebrew Israelites. Well, hey, this is so-called Black History Month. And there's no such thing as Black history. It's Israelite history, okay? But I want to talk to my sisters this morning. Hope y'all sisters are doing lovely out there, wherever you may be. Whew. They worked the brother hard last night, y'all. You know what? They worked me like a Hebrew slave. I used to always wonder, and I know many of you can relate to this. Many of you, even out there, even if you don't know you Hebrews, you've recited that phrase yourself, or you've heard someone recite that phrase. Man, they worked me like a Hebrew slave. That's because you are a Hebrew slave. You just didn't know it. You thought you was black. You thought you was Mexican. You thought you were Native American, Indian. You thought you were Haitian, Jamaican, Black Russian, Black Vietnamese, Black Samoan, Black Hawaiian. We calling ourselves all kinds of things. Those are called bywords, you guys. Bywords are words of disrespect, okay? And from now on, you should never identify with being black. There's no such thing as a black human being, you guys. Once again, look at me. Look at my skin. Does that look black to you, or does it look brown? Okay? Trying to get rid of that glare, family. Y'all gonna have to just bear with it today, okay? That's the way we got it set up today. I don't really think we can get out of it. All right? But it's not about the glare. It's about the message. Okay? I'm going to give it another minute. Good. I want to talk to you guys and ladies. This message is for all who will listen, but particularly to all of my sisters out there. All of my Hebrew Israelite sisters out there. I know a lot of you guys don't know your Hebrews. A lot of our women don't know that they're Hebrews. A lot of sisters believe that they're black. You're not black, sister. You are a Hebrew Israelite. You've been scattered into all nations for the disobedience and the wickedness of our ancestors. That's why we're being punished like this. All right? Okay, about to get into this, ladies and gents. I'm not going to keep you that long. Anybody, if you come in late, you can always go back, because I'm going to leave this up unless it gets flagged and they take it down. I'm going to leave it up so you can go back and watch the replay, okay? Message to my sisters. I want to first start off saying that I love my sisters. I love my brothers. I love my nation. I'm from the nation of Israel, okay? I'm a Hebrew Israelite. It's not a religion. That is my race, okay? Any of you so-called Negroes walking around calling yourself black, calling yourself African American, you are the Hebrew Israelites. This is not up for debate, okay? Now, this is a fact. The majority of us, as well as our enemies, okay, we know that the so-called black man, for the most part, not all of us, but for the most part, it's pretty fair to say that the so-called black man is out of his damn mind. That's a fair assessment, okay? You're getting it straight from the horse's mouth. I am a so-called black man. When the world looks at me, even though I don't look black, I'm brown. But people call me black, okay? They call me black. And like I said, for the most part, the whole entire world, as well as our enemies, as well as us, each other, we can accept the fact that most black men, not all, but the majority of us are out of our damn minds, okay? But today, we are going to talk about the so-called black woman. My sisters, your sisters out there, to all the Hebrew Israelites or so-called black men who watch this channel. This is the message to our sisters. If you have women in your family, maybe you got a mother who's still alive, a sister, a wife, a cousin, a niece, you need to share this video with them if you love them, okay? Sisters, I'm talking directly to you right now. Do not get this twisted. I got nothing but love for all of my sisters, even the ones that hate me out there, okay? I love you. That's why I'm speaking to you today. Whether you know it or not, sisters, you are in grave danger, okay? And you guys are being punished by your God and my God, okay? The Most High God has been slapping so-called black men, women, and children upside of our noggins because we refuse to listen. We refuse to repent. We refuse to try to live a life that is pleasing to the Most High God, which is our God. And like I said, this message is directed and dedicated to the women, to our women, okay? I'm not concerned with the other nations, what their women do. I love my women, so I'm talking to you guys. You are in grave danger. You have been being punished severely and whipped upside your head by your God, but many of you don't have an idea. And the reason why you don't know is because, one, the whole earth has been deceived. Number two, many of our sisters are on their own out there, okay? As a so-called black man and so-called black women, I got a news flash for you, sis. You don't have any friends. You don't have any allies. Your only allies is the so-called black man, okay? But unfortunately, in this reprobate society that we live in, many of our sisters reject our men. You'd always talk down on your brothers, your fathers, your cousins, your uncles, okay? Our nation has been totally destroyed and absorbed by our enemies. What do I mean? Most of our sisters do not acknowledge that they are Hebrew Israelites. You know what most of our sisters say? I'm black. I'm a bad bitch. That's what a lot of our sisters say out there, okay? And you got to excuse the rough language, but I'm going to be real with you, okay? If you want something soft and soothing, go to church, where your pastor can continue to feed you nonsense and lies and take your money and keep you destroyed in darkness, okay? Because your pastors are not telling you anything. They're feeding you lies and taking your money and giving you a feel-good speech that's eventually going to get you put to death, okay? Message to my sisters out there. I love you, sis, but you got to do better, okay? Many of our sisters out there cannot stand to be corrected. Many of our sisters out there hate to be rebuked. Many of our sisters out there are very proud, very loud, obnoxious, arrogant, defiant, disrespectful, ungrateful, complainers. Sis, I know that you are tired of living the life that you are living in these days. You don't have any friends. You are out in this world. You're up the creek without a paddle. You don't have any security. You don't have anyone who's going to come to your rescue. Something that I'm seeing a lot take place. I'm seeing a lot of our sisters being assaulted, even being taken off of this earth by wicked Negro men, okay? As I told you, most of our men are out of their damn mind. They're crazy as hell, rebellious, stubborn, wicked, violent. And those are the kind of men, unfortunately, that most of our sisters are attracted to. Most of our sisters are not attracted to a righteous man. Most of our sisters don't want to hear anything about this book right here, which I'm about to read out of, called the Holy Bible, okay? Most of our sisters don't want to hear that. And because of that, most of our sisters have lived a life filled with debauchery and uncleanness and straight up negativity. Every day I'm hearing a report about one of our sisters being beaten or eliminated from this earth at the hands of a wicked Negro man. Whether it's their so-called baby father, their husband, or their so-called boyfriend, okay? Sis, you have got to turn back to your God. You have got to humble yourself. Stop being proud. Stop being loud. Stop being haughty. You have got to take correction, okay? And listen to what I'm saying. I'm trying to help correct you, sisters, because I love you. I'm tired of seeing my sisters struggle in the ghetto by themselves. I'm tired of seeing my sisters out there on welfare. I'm tired of seeing my sisters out on all these videos twerking and being used like a piece of meat. I'm not for that. I hate it, okay? Your God hates it too, Okay? And I know my words don't mean anything, okay? I'm just a so-called black man, and I'm hated amongst all nations. Just like my brothers, just like you, sister. You sisters, I'm going to keep telling you, you don't have any friends. You're constantly made fun of, okay? And you don't have anyone to protect you. Most of you sisters are involved with wicked Negroes out there, and these Negroes can't do anything for you. That's why many of them end up going to jail, leaving you by yourself to raise kids alone, okay? That's not okay. Many of our women, the kids that they are having, you sisters are giving birth to demons out there. Okay? Many of your kids are unruly. In the so-called black community, let's face it, all right? For the most part, the black man is not in the home. He's been evicted from the home a long time ago. Okay? Sister, that is your strength. That is your refuge. That's who the Most High God made to protect you, the so-called black man. But anybody who can see, who got eyes to see, you look around the so-called black community, the black man is not in the home. He's been gone for quite a long time. Okay? Many of these wicked Negroes who are running the streets, dealing drugs, robbing people, killing people, flying off the handle for the smallest offense, they are being raised by our sisters alone. Okay? And I know a lot of you sisters out there say, hey, I'm strong. I'm independent. I don't need no man. Sis, you do need a man. If you can raise children by yourself, the black community would be like heaven. Because you are raising kids by yourself for the most part. And these kids are monsters out here. These little kids are bad as all get out. And they grow up to be teenage demons, young adult demons. You can turn on the news and see them killing each other every single day. Those are the product, for the most part, of single raised families, raised by our sisters. Okay? Because the man is not there. Sisters, you got to get in line. You got to get in order, okay? Or these curses are going to be forever upon you. Yes, you have been cursed by your God, sister. I know you don't believe it. But I'm going to read a little something to you. Not going to keep you guys too long. This right here is a part of the Holy Bible. Came out in the first King James edition, came out in 1611. But your friendly neighborhood oppressor, the so-called white man, decided to take this out, okay? And he's going to pay a dear price for doing so. All right? He's going to pay a dear price for doing so. Check this out. We're going to go to the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 5, verse 8. Listen up, sis. There shall be a confusion also in many places. Is it confusion in many places right now? I could spend an hour on that one part just alone, but I'm not going to do that. 2nd Ezra chapter 5, verse 8. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places. Listen to this part. And minstrous women shall bring forth monsters. And minstrous women shall bring forth monsters. You want to know why the so-called black community is filled with ignorance and violence? Because minstrous women are bringing forth monsters. Your children. They're monsters. Our women don't have any guidance. Our women are not using any wisdom. You cannot raise children on your own. When you do, they grow up to be monsters. Okay? monsters. Okay? Look at the black community, or the so-called black community. It's filled with savages, aka monsters. That's why you can look at a lot of these young Negroes and they always say, hey, I'm on demon time. They are demons, monsters, being brought forth by menstruous women. You know what that menstruous women? Women who are of childbearing age. If you're still having a period, you're menstruous. That means you can have children. You're bringing forth monsters, okay? And they are destroying the so-called black community. These kids, they're wicked. They're monsters. They're demons, just like they proclaim to be, okay? You need a man in the house. Not these wicked Negroes, not these dope dealing, skin tight pants wearing Negroes that want to dance all day. You need a strong man, a man who understands the Bible, a man who understands righteousness, a man who understands that he ain't black. You need a man who understands that there's no such thing as black people, but Hebrew Israelites, okay? Let's check this out. Right? Because a lot of you say, well, how did we get in this position, right? How did this happen? How come we don't have any men in the house? Okay? First of all, our nation never wanted to obey the Most High God. So he gave us up to our enemies, put us in captivity, and they totally destroyed our families, totally destroyed our minds. The Most High God made the Negro man and woman and child crazy. Read Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 28. And the Lord thy God shall smite thee with blindness and madness. You know what madness is? You're loony. You're crazy. You're totally unreachable. You're unreasonable. This is the men and the women and children. So-called black people have totally lost their minds. You guys, we all have been made crazy by the Most High God. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 28. Read it, okay? Read the whole entire Deuteronomy chapter 28, okay? Verse 15 through 68. All the curses that the Most High God said he was going to lay on us for being disobedient. And they have hit their mark. Yes, we have been a cursed people. It's only one way to come out of the curses. You're going to have to turn back to your God, okay? Not the God of the Christian church. God is not in there. You're going to have to turn back to the God of Israel, your God, the Hebrew Israelite God, the one who brought us out of Egypt a long time ago, okay? The book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 27. This is one of the ways that destroyed our household. This is how our sisters, the so-called black women, I'm talking to you, sis, this is how you were left on your own, right here. The book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 27. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house. I'm going to read that again. The book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 27. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man. That means tie him up, take him captive, and then he will spoil his house. No man can enter into a strong man's house. Who's that strong man? It's you, so-called black man. It's you, Hebrew Israelite, who've been scattered into all nations. It's you, sister. This strong man is the man that many of our sisters reject. Many of you sisters reject this strong man. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods. What are the strong man's goods? His woman, his children. And spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man. Has the strong man been binded in your house? Yes, he is. Every time you a single mother living out here raising kids alone, your strong man has been binded. And sometimes that is a self-inflicted wound. Okay? Because many of you sisters want to rebel against a strong man. I'm not talking about these wicked Negroes. I'm talking about righteous brothers. Many of you reject correction. You reject reprovement. You call the police. Some sisters even lie on their men. Get them arrested. You help these devils bind the strong man. Every time your man try to teach you the scriptures and you go, I don't want to hear that, you're binding the strong man. Okay? You're destroying your house. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house. Sisters, you and your children are a part of that strong man's house. And now, since that strong man has been binded, one way or another, his goods can be spoiled, which are you and his children. That's why you left alone out here. That's why you're easy pickings. You're easy prey. You can be raped. You can be robbed. You can be pillaged. You can be executed. You can starve. You can have no shoulder to cry on because the strong man in your house has been binded. And sometimes sisters self-inflict that wound. You already got the other nations, especially the so-called white man, binding your strong man up, killing them in the streets, which are part of the curses on the brothers. All of us have been under the curses, men, women, and children of the Most High. Okay? You got to stop self-inflicting these wounds on yourself, sister. But many of you sisters are proud, you're loud, you're obnoxious, okay? Many of our sisters have horrible attitudes. Many of you sisters cannot be reasoned with. Many of you sisters refuse to listen to logic, okay? And you get yourself in lots of trouble. You love dating these low-life scumbag thugs out here. Not all of the sisters, but many of our sisters. You don't want a good man. You want Pookie. You want Ray Ray. You want the drug dealer on the corner. You want the guy who's going to talk down to you, disrespect you, because you follow women like Meg Thee Stallion, trash, Cardi B, trash, and many of these other so-called entertainers. They're leading you sisters astray. And you don't have a man in your house. Your strong man has been binded. And you are an open prey. Your children are open prey. Okay? Pretty soon that you know what is going to hit the fan. You already don't have anyone to protect you because you don't have any friends. Your friends are your men. But the strong man has been binded up. And when you sisters come across a strong man who's trying to bring out these scriptures to help him, to help you and the children, many of you sisters reject that strong man. Okay? And that's why you're suffering like you are. And I know a lot of you sisters don't like to hear that because you're haughty, you're proud, you're loud, okay? Many of our sisters have horrible attitudes, okay? And it's agreed that, for the most part, the so-called black man is known worldwide for his misfit ways. And people accept that, okay? But the so-called black women, people can't correct you because you're very unruly. You're very disrespectful. And you refuse to take responsibility for your wicked actions, right? That's why a lot of you get mad when correction comes out. A lot of you sisters get mad when the scriptures come out, right? And you definitely don't want to listen to me, right? And you don't want to hear the scriptures either. But guess what? I'm about to read some scriptures to you about what the Most High God says about so-called black women, right? Because I know a lot of you so-called black women out there, and like I said, this is not to bash you sisters. I love you. That's why I'm telling you this. I'm tired of you being left as spoiled goods. I'm tired of you being pillaged. I'm tired of you sisters being taken advantage of by these wicked Negroes out here. I'm sick of wicked Negroes too, by the way. You drug dealing, gun toting, stick up men. I'm sick of you scumbag niggas out there. And you gonna get you got a day coming too. Going around impregnating our sisters and then leaving them to raise children on their own. You scumbag Negroes got a day coming. And I'm going to make a lesson specially dedicated soon to you scumbag Negro men out there. But this one is for the sisters right here, okay? I know you sisters, you don't like harsh language. Like I said, if you want to hear sweet things, go to church where your pastor will definitely tell you lies and collect your money, okay? And keep you destroyed, telling you that you're strong and independent. You're not strong and independent, okay? You're being set up by the devil. Most of your pastors at church are the devil, okay? Straight up. Sister, if you want to come out of these curses, you're going to have to do the same thing that the brothers are doing. You're going to have to humble yourself down. You're going to have to take correction and instruction. Brothers got to take correction and instruction too. A lot of brothers were very proud, okay? Wanted to lean to their own understanding until we started getting the understanding of this right here, okay? Until we started getting the understanding of this right here. Many of our brothers were wicked as hell and hated instruction, right? These scriptures are going to help clean you up. These scriptures are going to tell you about yourself. Why are you not talking about these no good men now on, but we women have been beat down? See, obviously, sister, you're not listening. Go back and watch this video from the beginning. Okay? Many of our sisters cannot take correction. Okay? Many of our sisters they despise correction. They don't want to hear it. What did it say? Why are you not talking about these no good men? Not all, but we women have been beat down by you men who come into the truth. It is. I'm glad you're saying that, sister. I want people to see this. Come down and many of sisters have been beat down by you men who come into the truth, who forgot all the women that they went through like castor oil. You're absolutely correct. But what you have to do, sister, go back to the beginning of this and watch this, okay? Go back to the beginning and watch this. I've touched on that. This message right here is for the sisters. And sister, I love you, but you're proving my point. Many of our sisters can't take correction. The very second we start bringing out truth, the first thing that you want to do, why don't you talk about the men? Sister, I'm not going to go on you. Go back and watch this from the beginning. You clearly came in late. Go back and watch this from the beginning. I've talked about these scumbag Negroes, and I'm going to make a video dedicated to these scumbag Negroes out here, to the scumbag Negro men. I am old enough to be your mother. Okay. That's why I'm not going to disrespect you. But I'm also not going to sugarcoat stuff, okay? Go back to the beginning and watch, sister. Age ain't got nothing to do with this. Go back to the beginning and watch. And you will see, hey, you didn't watch from the beginning, so that's why you're saying what you're saying. This message right here is dedicated to the sisters, okay? But I'm glad that you made that comment. Because anybody that's watching this are going to see what I'm saying. The very second you start bringing out correction, the very first thing many of our sisters do, whether they're older or younger, they don't want to hear any correction. What about the men? What about the men? That's a very good thing you're doing, though, because that's good. Somebody else is going to see this video, and they're going to know I'm not making this up. The title of this video is Message to My Sisters. I haven't bashed sisters at all. I love sisters, okay? That's why I'm making this, because I'm tired of my sisters being a prey and a spoil. The strong man in our house have been binded up, okay? And many of our sisters refuse to accept correction. Go back and watch from the beginning. Anybody coming in this right now, I encourage you, after this is over, go back and watch the whole entire video, because I'm going to leave this up. I'm going to read to you guys, because I know many of you don't want to hear my words. You get angry. So I'm going to read to you guys out of this Bible, okay? The Most High God doesn't play games. He's hard on men, he's hard on women, and he's hard on children. We ain't playing no more games around here, okay? When the correction comes out, You guys going to take this correction, okay? If you want the truth. When Sorry about that. When I'm getting on the brothers, you guys, don't ask me what about the women. When I'm getting on the sisters, don't ask me what about the men, okay? I'm bringing out the truth. This message is dedicated to the sisters. I'm going to say this one more time. Notice this, guys. Whenever you bring out correction to the sisters, whether they're older or younger, the very first thing that they do is say, what about the men? They say, stop talking about us. Don't correct us. Don't read no scriptures. Okay? Talk about the men. This message is for the women. If you guys don't like that, hey, it's not my problem. I'm going to give it to you like it's written. The men, the women, and the children in the nation of Israel have gone crazy. Crazy. Deuteronomy 28, chapter 28. Okay? I love y'all sisters out there. I love all my sisters out there. I love my nation. I don't care what the other nations are doing. I love us. I want us to be saved. And we're going to be saved, you guys. And any sister watching this, please do not take this the wrong way. Just like the sister who made the comment, sis, don't take this the wrong way. Take this from a brother who loves you, okay? I love you. I never mentioned you before, but I got nothing but love for you. I want the best for you. That's why I'm bringing these scriptures out, okay? And make sure you stay tuned. Next video, I'm going to make a video about these wicked Negro men, okay? But this is for the sisters. The book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verses 16 through 26, okay? Now listen to me, you guys. These are not my words. These are the words of your God, okay? Because I know my words are just a man. I'm a so-called black man. I've been discredited. All the brothers are discredited. The world refuses to hear anything coming from a so-called black man because for the most part, we have been binded up, okay? And we waiting on the Most High God to free us, to free our women, to free our children so that we can be raised and enjoy this life, enjoy the things that the Most High wants us to. Check this out. The book of Isaiah, the book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 16 through 26. Listen up. Moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks, and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. Since the daughters of Zion are haughty, you know what that means? Proud, arrogant, and walk with stretched forth necks. Okay? Everybody out there, you know how a lot of our sisters can do, rolling their eyes and doing all this. That's that stretched forth neck that the Lord is talking about. And wanton eyes. You know what wanton eyes are? Lustful eyes, flirting eyes. Walking and mincing as they go. Walking and switching, making all that noise, and making a tinkling with their feet. Ankle bracelets, high heels, letting you know they in the building. Verse 17, therefore, since our sisters are doing this, this is what your God says, therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. You know what secret parts are? It's a secret. You sisters know what it is. Therefore the Lord will smite with the scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion. Not all women, the daughters of Zion. Okay? This is what the Lord is saying. Is the Lord bashing? Is the Lord being harsh? Is the Lord being harsh? Or is he telling you the curses that he was going to bring upon you? Smite with the scab the crown of the head. That means he's going to make you bald, make you lose your hair. That's why a lot of our sisters complain about not being able to grow their hair. Verse 18, in that day the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their cauls, and the round tires like the moon. 19, the chains, and the bracelets, and the mufflers. 20, the bonnets. A lot of our sisters still like those bonnets. and the ornaments of the legs, and the headbands, and the tablets, and the earrings. Verse 21, the rings and nose jewels. Verse 22, the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles, and the wimples, and the crisping pins. Our sisters always have been the most beautiful women on the world. You still are. You used to be way more beautiful way back than you are now. But the Lord said, I'm going to smite you. The Lord had to break you sisters down because you were hardy. Okay? The glasses and the fine linen and the hoods and the veils. So-called black women are the most beautiful women on the planet. Even in your lowered state. Okay? Just like the so-called black men. The most handsome men on the planet. Even in our despicable, debaucherous state. We're the best, okay? Verse 24, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. Oh my God. And instead of a girdle, a rent. And instead of well-set hair, baldness. And instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth. And burning instead of beauty. You hear how the Lord said he was going to break the daughters of Zion down because of their haughtiness, because of their bad attitudes, because of their pride and arrogance. And it shall come to pass, instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. Stink instead of sweet smell. The so-called black woman at one time was the sweetest smelling woman on planet Earth. But the Lord said instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. I don't think I have to go into that, right? You guys know what that was referring to, right? The Lord said he was going to uncover your secret places. The Lord is being graphic with this, your secret places. Instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. You guys, how many times, I'm not trying to be graphic, but you got to understand this. Many of our sisters complain about female smells, okay? It's a curse from the Most High. Instead of sweet smell, it shall be stink. Many of our sisters complain about, oh, my hair won't grow. The Lord said he's going to give you baldness. He's going to take away their beautiful long hair that our sisters had at one time. Those are curses, okay? Verse 25, thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war. Thy men. Who are your men, sisters? It's so-called black men. Said the Lord gonna make your men shall fall by the sword. The so-called black man is getting killed left and right by other wicked Negroes, by the so-called white man, and all the other nations are out here. That's a curse from God. The Most High calls your strong man, which is the so-called black man, to be fallen by the sword, to leave you alone. That's a curse, sister. Sister, I'm tired of seeing you out there by yourself, sister. The other nations are preying on you, sister. How many times have our sisters getting abducted, going missing out here because they don't have a strong man to protect them? Sisters, please repent, sister. Turn back to the Most High God, sister. Pray to the Father that he sends a strong man in your life and love that man so he can protect you and the children. I'm tired of seeing my sisters, older and younger, being kidnapped, sold into all kinds of trafficking situations. You know what's going on out here, selling kids on the market, selling women on the market. I'm telling you, sisters, you are in danger. And things are getting much worse. You need that strong man. You need our men to stop falling by the sword so they can be in the house to protect you and the children and love you, okay? As black men and so-called black women, we've got to come back together, family. We all we got. We don't have no friends. The other nations hate us, family. It's up to us, men and women, to love each other. Instead of refraining from each other, we got to welcome each other back with open arms. Men have did women wrong. Women have did men wrong. We got to forgive each other, family, and love each other. We have to reconcile, family, and come together so we can fight against our enemies, which is not each other. The other nations are our enemies, family, not us. Let's come together. Verse 26, and her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. I'm going to read that again, family. This is the last verse. And her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. The Most High God brought our women down to the ground in a low state, just like our men. We in a low state, just like our black children. So-called black people are in a low state. It says, and her gates shall lament and mourn. That means she's going to be sad. Our sisters are going to be crying. Why am I alone? Why am I on welfare? Why I ain't got a job? Why am I being kidnapped and abducted? How come nobody loves me? Because all of our men are falling by the sword, be getting put to death. And it says, she being desolate. You know what desolate means? You're going to be a single mother. You're going to be alone. Even if you don't got children, you're going to be alone. Because many of our men are in jail, or they're falling by the sword, or the men are just so crazy out of their mind. It ain't no secret, y'all. The so-called average so-called black man is out of his damn mind. Wicked as hell. And that's why he's been cursed to fall by the sword, okay? I'm going to make a lesson dedicated to these wicked Negroes. That's going to be my next lesson. The wicked Negro man, okay? And his despicableness. Be on the lookout for that, family. But verse 26 again. And her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. You sitting on the ground, sister, you in a low state. It's only one way out of this, family. We got to come back to our God, and we got to love each other. As I said, men have did women wrong. Women have did men wrong. We must forgive each other and reconcile, reconnect, love each other. We got to stop going against each other, okay? The whole world is against us. We have to come together so that we can fight against our enemies. Our enemies know the second that the so-called black man and black women reconcile, love each other, the other nations don't stand a chance. We gonna have to love each other, family. That's the only way we getting out of this. We went into captivity together. We got cursed together. The only way we coming out of captivity is together. The only way we gonna break these curses is together, family. Family, I love you guys. Sisters, to every so-called black woman who watches this video, I love you from the bottom of my heart. Sisters, please repent. Turn from your wicked ways. Stop being haughty. Stop being proud, okay? Love your other sisters. All you sisters out there, you got to stop fighting amongst each other because the other nations don't like you. They're fighting against you as well. Sisters, when you guys come together, when you women come together in righteousness, nobody can stop you. You're way stronger than the women from the other nations. You look way better than the women from the other nations. You're smarter than the women from the other nations. You are greater and above them. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. You're better than them when you walking in righteousness. Same for our brothers. When we come together, we are better than the men from other nations. Same for our children. When our children come together, our children are much more intelligent, much more brighter, kinder, stronger. They look better. Just all around. The black, so-called black man, woman, and child, we are above all nations. Stop striving for equality with these heathen pagan Gentiles out here. We're better than them. When we walk in righteousness, when we come back to our God, which is that I hope and pray that we all are striving to do, okay? That's the only way out of this captivity, you guys, okay? I love you guys. Shalom, shalom, peace, blessings, love, and safety to the 12 tribes of Israel, especially to my sisters, because this message was dedicated to the sisters. I love you. Sisters, stay prayed up. Stay safe. Like this video. Share this video. I'm out.